Hi, how's everybody doing today? We good? Good. So for my TED Talk, I decided that it would be a really good idea if I was to tell a story. So you're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to tell you a little story. And the story is about this young girl who was born in Belgium into a society where freedom of action and freedom of speech were encouraged. And everyone within that society lived a very carefree life. So in other words, you could think, feel, and dream whatever you wanted to dream. And the most important thing, you could dream big. So this little girl wanted to be an actress. And I don't mean not just any actress. She wanted to be the next Academy Award winner. She wanted to be on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She wanted to be in all the movies with the glitz and the glamour and the fame to do, with everything. And that little girl was me. Yes, I'm sure some of you in the audience are thinking, an Emirati wanting to be an actress? Not a good idea. But that was my passion. And I was living in Europe. Anything's possible there, right? So that's what I believed in. So when you're a child, the element of fear doesn't really exist, but the element of surprise is always around. And you're always encouraged to think of fantastical situations, and anything's possible. The world's within your reach. So after time, I grew up and I moved to the UAE. Now, moving back to a society, which was my society, was very difficult for me. It was almost like I had a culture shock. So I'm Emirati, and I'm living the life of a mixed Western foreigner. I don't know what it is. But what I knew was I got to look at the UAE with a fresh pair of eyes. I got to look at the UAE and evaluate it on my own terms. And what I noticed is there was a huge contradiction between the traditional ways of living versus the Western way of living. I kept thinking to myself, sometimes the society is moving forward. I mean, we have the biggest this and the greatest that, and we're accomplishing amazing things that other countries around the world only dream of accomplishing, which is amazing, and we respect that. But with our society, we glorify and we accentuate all these amazing qualities that we have, yet we don't acknowledge our failures. Why is that? Why is it that we have a society which is moving faster than the speed of light, yet the society, the culture within the society, the UAE culture, the locals, are still 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 steps behind? What I didn't understand is there was this strange duality, this contradiction, as I said, this somewhat of a social hypocrisy against the people who seemed pure and innocent in front of their families and household, yet they party and rave till the early hours of the morn. And you have the guy who goes out with his friends partying and drinking, but has to come home in time just to wake up for Fajr prayer. I didn't get it. So my question was, why? Why is this happening? And not only why is it happening, why isn't anyone talking about it? So when I moved back here, I got to look at this, and I thought to myself, okay, I'll just keep it in the back of my mind. There's this social stigma that we're dealing with, this cultural taboo of the UAE. So I'm attending the American University of Sharjah, the College of Architecture, Art and Design. And an opportunity arises, and I thought to myself, I'm going to grab this opportunity. Now let's go back to that girl who wanted to be an actress, right? I was in all the school plays, I was in all the school productions. Ask anyone. I wanted to be that. I was going to be that. Nothing could stop me. Not my friends, not my family, it was going to happen. So there's a course at the College of Architecture and Art and Design that focuses on filmmaking. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to do filmmaking. It's the closest thing I can do to acting, why not? So that's what I did. I took upon the opportunity, and a professor told me at the university, Professor Jack Swanstrom, that, Sarah, when you're out with your friends, are you the type of person that's telling the story, or are you the type of person that's listening to the story? I told myself, well, I'm usually the one telling the story. He said, so tell one. I said, okay, I'll do that. And that's what I did. I made a movie called The Forbidden Fruit, which deals with that controversial issue of the UAE, this duality of trying to retain that cultural heritage, yet live in a modern Western society. And it follows the lives of 2 local Emirati people. And the woman who's in my movie is Emirati. She plays the role. So that's controversy in a nutshell. At the Dubai International Film Festival, the movie got crazy reviews from both ends of the spectrum. People loved it, people hated it. Some people said, who is this Emirati girl? Who's this Sarah Alagroobi who's making a movie about something that doesn't exist in our society? It doesn't happen, we don't do this. Why did you make this movie? And I said, well, why not? Why not? Really, why not? And so my sister Emma told me, Sarah, when you're doing something good, people are going to talk about you. When you're doing something bad, people are going to talk about you. When you're not doing anything at all, guess what? People are still going to talk about you. It's how our society works, right? And I said, let them talk. Let them talk. Keep talking. Don't stop talking. Why? Because it's creating a discourse. It's creating a conversation. We're actually making a difference by addressing these issues, not talking about them. So going back to that girl who wanted to be an actress, which was me. My friends were doing movies in this course, which was amazing. What does that mean? That means that I get to do these movies. I get to be in these movies. And they wanted me to play the main actress. It's like, yes, the opportunity has arisen. This is what I'm going to be able to do, right? I'm facing and staring at my dream dead in the face. I'm going to be in these movies, and these movies are going to be in festivals, and these festivals are going to go all around the world, right? You're facing your dream, the dream that I'd conjured up for the last 20 years of my life. This is the dream that I'm facing, set in, headstrong in the face. And I did it, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And I see faces in the audience that are doing this, like, how could it be? How could someone that wanted to be an actress for 20 years trying so hard to reach this dream, it's just above the horizon, we have to do it. I had to achieve it. I spent my whole life obsessing over this idea, only to know that the thing that was my utmost love turned into my utmost hate in a second. And you're probably asking why, and truth be told, I really don't know. All I know is that with one door closes, another door opens. And in life you make mistakes and you learn from them. But we have to keep up to pace. We have to be able to keep moving just like the society around us. In the UAE, we are fortunate enough to have the biggest and the best technologically enhanced things. We have a multicultural society, yet we don't encourage it within our own culture. So we, as a nation, need to stop living in the past and nourish and encourage the present generation so we can make way for a better future. So, to end my talk, I like to say the quote that I live by, that in our society, it's better to ask forgiveness than to ask permission. Thank you.